Okay, so we're having a sporty conversation here.
In light of Roland Garros.
Alea will tell you, no, sports, give me tennis. That's not
anytime. Anytime.
But this time I want to talk AFCON qualification. African Cup of Nations, Nigeria against South Africa. That's happening today. Earlier Sunday.
Sorry, you can't go. You're in Lagos.
I'll get to watch it on screen. It's in Group E of the 2019 qualifiers. When they meet today in Uyo, it will be one person stepping up to that podium, figuratively speaking. Neither the Super Eagles nor Bafana qualified for the last AFCON in Gabon earlier this year, meaning a place in the 2019 finals is a major priority. While Nigeria has German Gana Raw in charge of the team, South Africa will see this match as the start of a new era on the Englishman Stuart Baxter. How would that play out? Gana Raw has had to rearrange his team because some of the major guys are injured. We have Ibitoye there. He will tell us he's a spokesman for the Super Eagles. But Nigeria has generally dominated South Africa in international football, with the Super Eagles claiming 7 victories in 12 official meetings. Would this be the 8th meeting in 13, Alero?
The 8th victory, you mean?
Yeah.
8th victory in
8th victory in 13 meetings?
I don't know. But you know how Nigeria is when it comes to football. Even when we don't prepare, we pray.
For everything.
And then we say...
Alero, for everything. Okay, but hey, it's not Alero and I that are having that conversation. Tony Ibitoye, the Super Eagles media officer, he joins us via Skype from the sports city in Uyo. Tony, hello Tony.
Very good morning to you, Auntie. Thank you for the opportunity of being on Sunrise this Saturday. It's match day. We're looking forward to...
Slow down. We're coming back to you. We also have Babatunde Akintunde Johnson, who's a sports analyst here in Lagos. Thank you, Babatunde.
Thanks for having me, Bada Akintunde Johnson.
Bada, yeah. And Chris Obiako is a football analyst. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
okay.
My pleasure to be here.
All right, so Tony, we're back to you. Tell us, what's the mood like in camp, match day?
Yeah, it rained very heavily all through the night.
Oh.
So that's some good news for us, because it means probably won't rain during the day.
We hope.
And then we'll have, hopefully, we'll have a good pitch to play on. And then we'll have people turn out in good numbers as well. The mood in camp is good. We have all our boys in good shape. No injury worries of any kind. And then we've had good preparation for this game. We've prepared in 3 phases. We went to Corsica in France for the first phase. We went to then Paris for the second phase. And this is the final phase, the 3rd phase in Uyo. So we've prepared well. We've been well motivated by the Nigerian Football Federation in terms of good preparation, good camping, good friendly games. So today's match day. We look forward to being able to put all that we've been doing in the past 2-3 weeks together on the pitch for 90 minutes and start off this campaign with a win. That's what we hope for.
Okay. Do you think...
But of course.
If we go by the statistics, should we be hopeful that the Super Eagles would soar over the Bafana?
We have a good record in terms of the number of victories. I think we've only lost once to South Africa, and it wasn't in a competitive game, and it was a game we played with a rap-tag team far back 2004, I think. So that's a long time ago. And guess what? Stuart Baxter was the coach of Bafana at that time. But then we played with a rap-tag team. So, but it's a win all the same for the South Africans. They celebrated it. But we've had a good record. But you know, records don't play football. What matters on the day are the players on the pitch, and how committed they are, how they carry out the instruction of their coaches, how they fight for themselves, for their countries, and whatever they are able to do on the pitch. So we know that this team is a good team. Bafana, they're a good team. They are always well motivated when they play against big teams. They are on top of their group in the World Cup qualifiers, so they have some good momentum going for them, just like Nigeria. In the last couple of years, they've gone to very difficult places and they have returned with good results. Burkina Faso, they drew 1-1 in Ouagadougou. Burkina Faso is a very good team, you know. Third in Africa at the last AFCON. They went to Cameroon a few years back, also got a draw. Cameroon and African champions. So they play well against big teams. They may falter against small teams, but they always find their way against the big teams. So Nigeria, big team, they are always motivated when they play. So we expect that we'll have a good game today. We want a game that will test our boys. We want a game that will stretch us, boost our confidence with the victory. And when we win, we move up a notch in terms of confidence. So we're expecting a tough game, a good game, but a game that we will win at the end of the day.
Okay. Mr. Biako.
That we will
win at the end of that we will win. Mr. Biako, Stuart Baxter was the coach when we lost to South Africa the last time. Now, Tony brought up that example. Stuart Baxter is the coach of Bafana Bafana again. Do you think he'll be looking for a repeat performance?
Yeah, you know, in the first place, South Africa and Nigeria, you know, in the pedigree of football presently, you can't compare both teams. Like South Africa is 12th in the latest African ranking in Africa. Then the latest FIFA ranking, sorry, in Africa. And Nigeria is 4th. And then Nigeria is 38 in the overall world ranking, and South Africa is 64. So, you know, when you look at the pedigree in football, you can't compare Nigeria and South Africa. We are miles ahead. We've won 3 Nations Cup. South Africa managed to win one in 1996. When, you know, during the era of General Sani Abacha, when he pulled Nigeria out of the tournament. And South Africa had an easy ride, and they won in 1996. But presently, you know, considering the fact that our new coach is firing on all cylinders, and the fact that he has not lost any match, I don't think Baxter will pose a threat. Though he was the one in charge when we lost the last time, it wasn't a competitive tournament. There was nothing at stake, more or less. So
he said he knows our weaknesses, and you have just painted a picture of them being the underdog. Yeah. Well, the underdog sometimes can pull some surprises.
Yeah, in modern football, you don't underrate any team. That's what happens in modern football. A team that's ranked 100 can come up and beat Brazil, which is ranked first. So, having said that, you know, before a match, coaches will come up with mind games. They will come up with threats. They will come up with all kinds of gimmicks to make you, you know, get threatened and intimidated. But again, if we look at the statistics we have on the table today, I don't think South Africa has, you know, what it takes to come to our backyard and give us a problem. I believe General Roth is focused. He has done a wonderful job with the Super Eagles. When he came in, we were more or less struggling. But he came out and brought some, you know, because he had, before he came, he had been the coach of Niger Republic, Gabon, and one other country in Africa, Burkina Faso. He had coached 3 African countries before. And he came in with the experience. And what he's doing today shows that he knows his onions. Okay.
But the statistics, the history, pedigree, and all of that. The Super Eagles, let me use Troost Ekong, for instance. His team, his partner at the back, and he's not on ground, so he's going to have to pair with somebody new. Do you think that might be a situation?
Oh, well, I hate to read much into history, you know, historical statistics and football, but again, you can't deny the fact that Nigeria is, I mean, huge favorites going into this game because of, you know, the fact that the odds are stacked heavily in our favor. These guys haven't beaten us in the competitive game, but on match day, all of those will be thrown out of the table, or out of the windows rather, and then the more prepared, the more hungry side ultimately would win over 90 minutes based on the output of the players on the pitch and the application. And you talk about William Troost Ekong not playing with a familiar partner and at the back. I don't think, you know, I think he's going to be playing with Kenneth Omeru, if I'm right, you know, or sorry? Awaziem, okay.
But so that's not his usual partner.
He's not his usual partner. In central defense, the 2 centre-backs have got to have had some, you know, decent enough time playing together for understanding. So that in itself, might be a challenge. But one thing I like about this, General Rod team is that each time he gives someone new a chance, the person more often than not, steps up to the plate. And it's down to the fact that he's pretty much created a level playing field. The spirit in camp is high. There is no report of some kind of what we used to call well, in political terms now, it will be the cabal. A group of elite players who elevate themselves above the rest of the team. Now everyone is pretty much on the same level. The spirit, the team chemistry is high. So all of those would mean that there's some semblance of an understanding and, more importantly, the desire to want to go out there and deliver. Let's
look at this. The bank-alert syndrome as against the patriotism syndrome. Which one do you think is working now? Is there a balance?
I think there's a huge dose of patriotism, as we haven't seen in recent times in this particular team. And again, it's against the backdrop of failure.
What's responsible for that?
Against the backdrop of unbelievable failure. Nigeria not qualifying for 2 back-to-back AFCON, that's unimaginable. Okay. I grew up with a sense of entitlement because Nigeria was going to the Nations Cup, yes, and get to semi-finals at least.
Okay. Exactly.